Today we're going to take a look at some of the automation capabilities of RL Catalyst. The RL Catalyst bots factory comes with a standard library of about 100 plus bots, and today as a demonstration we will use one of these bots to deploy a 2-node installation of the RL Catalyst application itself. Let's take a look at the bot itself. This particular bot wraps the CloudFormation template, and when we execute this bot, we are given the choice to choose several configuration parameters. We then give it a unique name, so let's call it demo 190220. As you can see, the bot has been launched, and in this window we can see the execution logs as the CloudFormation template is executed and the nodes are provisioned. This is a typical 2-node setup with an application on one of the nodes and a Mongo database on the other. Also, we have an Nginx load balancer as part of the mix. We can go to the work zone and we can take a look at the CloudFormation template here, and as you can see here, the new template creation is in progress. The EC2 instances have been created. So there are several steps here that need to complete. The instances are created, an elastic IP is associated to the instance. We create the routing in Route 53. And finally, the CloudFormation stack creation is complete. When the stack creation is complete, we would then see in the instances 2 instances have been created. One is the Catalyst instance and one is the Nginx instance. These 2 machines have been created as part of the provisioning. Let's take a look at the logs on one of these machines. So right now, after the creation of the stack, we have to wait for the instance to come up and pass all of its checks. Once the instance passes its checks, the Catalyst will then launch some cookbooks to install the application, the RL Catalyst application on these 2 nodes. As we can see on the Catalyst node, the installation of the application itself is in progress. Along with the application, we also install all of the monitoring agents that are necessary for monitoring this setup. As you can see here, the instance has been successfully bootstrapped, and we should now see at this URL the newly minted RL Catalyst application. And there we see the login page of the newly installed RL Catalyst application. Let's take a look at the command center. The command center is a monitoring and remediation tool. It presents this basic dashboard view when you log in. And what is represented here is business services. A business service could be an endpoint, like a company website or an API endpoint. And that endpoint may be supported by several underlying services and many servers that run those services. The basic dashboard view shows green, yellow, red for the current status of the business service. Green indicates everything is currently okay. Yellow indicates that there could be a potential problem in one of the underlying services or in the underlying infrastructure. Red would show that the service is currently unavailable. Sometimes you might see green when the gray when the service is in planned maintenance mode. Let's add a new business service to the command center so that we can monitor this new business service. I'm going to take the newly created application and I'm going to add to the command center. Command center will monitor this endpoint and we give it a name. I will enter my email ID as the point of contact to be notified in case of problems with this business service. I will enable email notifications as well as auto remediation on this business service. As we can see, a new card has been added to the dashboard here, and very soon this card will go green once the command center detects the endpoint that we have just added. As we can see, the business service is now showing green. Let's click through into this business service card. As we can see here, the drill down reflects the topology of this business service. The application running on this business service depends on two nodes. There is the node with the IP address 104 and there is another node with IP address 203. There are three linked services. Two of the linked services, a Node.js application and a Mongo database, they are running on the node 104, and the node 203 is running an Nginx load balancer. This is a typical application with an application layer and a database layer. So I'm now going to simulate a problem that happens on one of the nodes on this business service. So I'm now going to simulate a stress on one of the nodes of this business service. I'm going to create a high CPU situation on one of the nodes. As you can see here, the command center detected, based on the checks that we have run on this, that the CPU on one of the nodes is beyond a critical threshold. Next, I'm going to simulate that the URL is actually down. So I'm going to go to the automation engine and I'm going to run a bot remotely on this server. And I'm going to stop the Nginx server on that machine. Once this bot has successfully run, we should see that the endpoint that we had created is effectively down. So the bot has executed successfully. Let's try accessing this URL now. As you can see, the URL is now down because we brought the load balancer down. As we can see here, the card has gone red, which means that the command center has detected that the endpoint is down. Let's go and take a look at the emails that have been sent by the system. As we can see, the system has detected that the Nginx health service, which is a dependent service, has gone down, and also that the business service itself has gone down. Let's also take a look at the Slack channel. As we can see, the Slack channel has also been notified that the service that we just created is down. The system has also raised a ServiceNow ticket about the incident. These same details will also be displayed here in the outages tab, and as we can see, there is a outage now in progress with an incident ID created in ServiceNow. The ITSM As we can see in the Slack channel, there is a new message that says that remediation has been started for this service. This is because we chose the auto remediation option, and Command Center will look through the entire topology and try to figure out which of the services has a problem, and it will apply the appropriate remediation to try to recover the situation. We also see the same notification in email as well. Going back into the outages tab, we can go into the incident communication, and and we can add a section here and provide an update that an outage is in progress. The incident communications helps to create a timeline of an outage, and as the team works on the resolution, the frequent updates can be provided, which will then be stored in the command center. These communications can be viewed on the Incident Communications tab. And it is also completed successfully, and the system should be back in the green zone. If we drill down into the card and go to the outage tab, we would see that the outage has been resolved, and going into the communications page, we would see that the outage is resolved here as well.